Automatic feeders have their place. If you're looking to grow, for instance, really big fish, you may want to feed them 5 or even 6 times a day. In that case, an automatic feeder can work really well. But I want you to keep in mind, automatic feeders are not good babysitters. If you're looking to use an automatic feeder, for instance, to relieve you of the responsibility of having to feed your fish each day, or if you're going to use one for being on vacation for a week or 2 weeks, just set it up and leave the pond alone, I would really encourage you to rethink your decision. For instance, when you feed your fish once a day, spending that just 2 or 3 minutes with them gives you an opportunity to examine your pond. If all the fish come up to eat as normal, that's a good indication everything's fine. But on the other hand, when you go to feed your fish, if all of them don't cut up to eat as normal, it could be an indication your water quality is not proper, or you've got parasites. So it gives you a head up to check the water quality or to examine them closer. Additionally, if you go to feed your fish and they all come up and eat as normal, but one of them isolates itself, that might be an indication that that fish has got a sore on him or he's damaged and he needs to be looked at. But by feeding your fish every day, it gives you an opportunity to keep up with how they're doing, and if you have a problem, you can get on it right away instead of waiting for a week. If you don't see your fish except on weekends, in a week, a fish that got sick on Monday could die by Friday. So you really want to think about it. If you can't find 3 minutes a day to feed your fish, you got to ask yourself, maybe you shouldn't have a koi pond. Even if you're using an automatic feeder to feed your fish 5 times a day, we recommend at least once a day, either first thing in the morning or in the evening. Instead of feeding them automatic, you go out and feed them by hand just to keep in touch with how the pond's doing, how the fish are doing. But now also, if you use an automatic feeder while you're on vacation, it makes it very convenient, but it could be dangerous. If you're gone for a week to 10 days and nobody looks at your pond over this period, if, for instance, one of the pumps froze up and went out and it stopped flowing, or some car hit a telephone pole and sent a surge in and kicked the breaker, you're going to come home to a pond full of dead fish. And you don't want to risk that. What we recommend is that if you've got a neighbor nearby, offer them, say, I'll give you $5 a day to just come by and throw this small cup of food in my pond once a day. Just set up the right amount of food each day. Take the guesswork out of it. Most neighbors, in fact, I've never heard a neighbor yet that would take the money, but most will say, well, I'd love to feed your fish. In fact, could I bring my grandchild over? So it's not necessarily a burden to them, but what that gives you is that once a day, somebody is looking at your pond. Somebody's making sure that everything's right, that the water pumps are running, that the fish are eating. It's a nice security blanket, so when you come home, you're not going to be shocked when you walk in your backyard to look at your pond. You know they're going to be fine. And what you can do is leave a phone number of somebody competent so that if that neighbor does see a problem, they can call your local supplier, what it is, and they can come out and fix whatever problem might be there.